All right, how's everybody doing? Bear with me for a moment. There are things that are not displaying. Why are things not displaying? Oh, I know. There we go, and we're back. Welcome, spacemen and the 1 in 1,000 space women, for tuning in. That's what the YouTube stats say anyways. This is Soirée Sundays, which is kind of like off-topic Tuesdays, in which I do something unrelated to cybersecurity. At some point, it will all become obvious. There's going to be some overlap between the game art and game development and cybersecurity. And stay tuned for that. I'll hope you will follow me on my journey for that. What we're going to do now is on Tuesday we sculpted this. You can kind of see it. It's let's see. There we go. It's a Link from Zelda, and obviously I did some more sculpting off screen and came up with this. And to make it game ready, we have to Retopo it. This, anytime I open up this file in 3D Coat, I panic because it looks like it's destroyed or failed to say all my Retopo stuff. I'm not super familiar with 3D Coat, but you got to go up here and click Retopo, and all your retopology comes back. And the absolutely maddening part of this is that there's no AI solutions for this that I know of yet. And this is like the one area where I think people would be very happy about having their work replaced by a robot. Because this is the digital equivalent of ditch digging. This is digital ditch digging. It is super not fun. And so 3D Code is one of the better programs for this, but it's still not perfect. For example, or maybe I'm not perfect. For example, I don't know how to successfully get in here under his hair because there's no way to, that I know of, to hide edges. Is there? Let's look over here. Let me move the mic a little bit. There's delete edges, but you can't hide them to get into the back there, I don't think, which is, you know, a crazy major failing. So in addition to not being able to solve this through AI, it's very difficult to solve it through manual labor, but we're gonna have to forge ahead. And basically, we just take this tool. This is gonna be boring for you. You might not want to tune in. But this is all it is. You gotta create quads along the surface of the model. And in some places this becomes very much a puzzle, like along the hands, which is kind of fun to solve sometimes. So you have to know, you know, how many quads you're going to start out with at the fingertips. Oops, I missed a quad. And how many are, you know, going to connect, and what's that going to mean for how many quads the hand needs. And you have to figure out where to add these, what are called poles, which is where the geometry has to kind of branch off into other loops. And so it is a bit of an art in and of itself to create retopology. Looks like I'm missing some here too. Looks like I'm missing a lot. But again, that's part of the problem with 3D Coat. You can't really get into the nooks and crannies. There's no way to hide some of the stuff and get in there. So I'm mostly doing just half the mesh because, again, for that very reason, you can't get into the hard to reach places. most of it's symmetrical, and I can kind of just mirror it in 3ds Max and fill in the gaps, because 3D Max has high polygon functionality. 3D Max does what 3D Coat don't. That being said, I wish I had learned Blender instead of Max. So as we speak, my Hacker's Pager case, the final version, I've printed it like 20 times now and tweaked it each time. That is currently printing. Where should this one go? What is going on here? Well, this is going to be part of the stuff that's going to be mirrored, so no reason to do that. I really only have to do the hair up until a certain point. So in order to mirror it, excluding this hair, we need 5 polygons along the top of his head. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's the other one? Nope, stop. No, I guess just 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't count. So in addition to creating the quads, you have to move the vertices around, smooth things out. I'm pretty proud of this so far. I have all quads and only maybe like 3 poles in the entire mesh. Obviously this is like a very simple biped chibi style. All the features have been super simplified, so that makes it easier to retopologize in a way that, you know, you're only using quads and very few poles. But I gotta take my wins where I can get them, so I'm proud of this. And right now, all it's for is I'm going to create some stinger transitions for my OBS scene for Zelda games. So next Off Topic Tuesday, and oh my god, it's gone. I'll never get it back. Oh, there we go. Next Off Topic Tuesday, Shenanigans Saturday, and or Soirée Sunday, I'm going to be live streaming what's it called? Phantom Hourglass on the DS, because I found a emulator that will work with my art tablet to emulate the DS functionality. So that's fun for me. Right now I'm avoiding my cybersecurity duties because I am crippled with illness. And so this is basically taking it easy. See, now this is a problem because we need to get at least 2 polygons on either side of this without creating any more geometry. For those of you unfamiliar with game development, what we're going to do is some lighting trickery. We're going to do what's called projecting normals. So we're going to take the low poly, because video games have a hard time moving triangles around, so you can't really have super high poly objects in it. We're going to take the low poly and we're going to take lighting information from the high poly and project it onto the low poly to give the illusion of more detail than there really is. And that's all normal mapping is, really. Lighting trickery. All right, so on the other side, this loop kind of comes down along the side of the hair, and we get a pole here. Wow, that is not great. I don't know how that happened. So that's much better. So pull here as this loop branches off and kind of does its own thing. And that's not the way to do that. We gotta go over here. Where's my quads? Quad brush. Bring this down here. And you can kind of see how up here we've created a pull so that this loop will go that way, this loop will go that way. And that's how you kind of compromise and create more geometry. The problem is it subdivides weird. So you want to avoid it as much as possible. Now, do we have the same number of poly trails on one side as the other? We might as well link this up. It's not going to take too long. And you can see we don't, so we need to split rings here. I think we're gonna sell this overlay pack and call it link-like for copyright dodging reasons. Not literally dodging, to stay on the right side of the law. And yeah, that's about right. Because this part's just going to loop around. All right, so just for symmetry's sake, this has 4 polygon trails up and down here. So we're going to try to do the same. Ooh, that's including the edging. So this is going to have to be, we're going to have to do like a size shift. You know, like I said, this is one of the things you wish AI would take away from you in terms of work. And we're going back up. The great thing about 3D Coat is it gives you the option to use a number of different control schemes. So if you're used to always working in ZBrush, as I am, you have that option to use ZBrush controls in 3D Coat, and then you don't have to tell your brain to override 10,000 hours of ZBrush mastery in order to get 3D Coat to work. I wish more programs would do that. This kind of looks like a triangle, but it's not. And so we're still keeping with our goal of using only quads. Now this is kind of messy. You want them to be kind of contiguous and of the same size, so we can go in here and kind of brush out, kind of average where the vertices are placed on the mesh. But you see the problem is it uncovers a lot of the mesh too. So there's a lot of manual moving and the smoothing out, and then manual moving. If you like the off-topic stuff, please let me know in the comments, because the impression I'm getting is that people only want to see cybersecurity, which kind of makes me sad. There's always this struggle between wanting to broaden the appeal of the channel and not wanting to drive away people who only want to see the cybersecurity stuff. This is going to be real weird if this works out. So this is what you... Okay, I need to take a break. All right. I'm back. I don't know how much information is too much information, but I've recently developed... Oh, never mind. Nobody's listening. So the next step after this will be to take it into Substance Painter, and we're gonna project the mesh details, create the normal map. Then we'll also create the texture maps by coloring everything in. Excuse me. Alright, so we're going to have to create another pole coming up here. I always feel like a failure when I have to do that. This is probably going to be the 6th pole in the mesh now. So I guess this is as good a place as ever to create the pole. And we're gonna have to average out the vertice placement. And for the sake of symmetry again, we might as well create another pole on the opposite side of the other one. I gotta say, the edge flow does look okay. Gotta dial down the radius. Wait, how am I going to do this? It's not exactly where I want it to be. but making it symmetrical means I would have to create an entire new ring. That's going to throw the symmetry of the arm off too, because look, it wrapped. I guess it's not that bad. Maybe there's another solution. These are the fun little puzzles that you encounter when you have to retopologize something. Yeah, this is better. Wait, no, that's the same thing. Isn't it? Okay, so on this side I have 1 pull, 2 pull. Right at this edge loop here. I don't know if I'm using the proper terminology all the time. Let's see what happens when we force a pull in here. Is this going to match up? I don't know if this is going to match up. Hey, it does. No, it doesn't. Let's create the back row first and then figure out how to make everything mesh from there. Oh, here's the reason. Look at that. There is a loop in here that's supposed to connect to there, but it got papered over by this polygon. Mystery solved. I was wondering. Look at that edge flow. That is a thing of beauty. Now we're going to average out some of the vertice positions. Looking good. We're in the home stretch now, at least until we have to get this into 3ds Max. It's kind of like troubleshooting your Ponagachi. There's 8 moments of truth. And similarly, there's going to be 8 finishing lines to get past. Oh, I didn't do the bottom of the foot. Well, remind me to get to that. And back to the top of the head. Let's finish that up because the foot is going to be easy. Digital ditch digging, as I like to call it. Oh, we don't have to do the whole thing here. We can find the midpoint. Where's the midpoint? Huh. I mean, I guess technically the midpoint on the top of the head can be wherever we want it to be, so let's stop here and we'll mirror that part in 3ds Max to put it all together. Now you'll notice that I'm not using the same number of polygon strips as going to come up right here. But in the interest of efficiency, we can just split rings here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll all match up. Now, if we move them, we can kind of target weld. Target weld, stay on target, stay on target. And so we save probably 5 minutes doing that. And we gotta average them out a bit. All right. It's the final countdown. Da-na-na-na-na. And we have quads running along the edge here. So far we've gotten away with making all, not gotten away with, we've been successful in planning all quads throughout the mesh. Oh, brush. Whoa. No, back to brush, come on. Is there a way we can just select edges and what if we slide edges? No, that does not work. I wonder if let's just do the tried and true method here. We're going to stretch these quads out and use split rings again like we just did. Save a little time. in theory. Let me know in the comments if the audio is okay. If the background music is loud enough, too loud. Similarly with my microphone. And so we can just double our efforts here. Don't really know how this is going to play out when it gets towards the tip of the cone. We'll probably have to go into triangle mode. And it looks like we've got another pole coming up. Maybe not. These will have to, the vertices will have to move here. And we're going to have to smooth them out later. And going back the other way. This is way too many quads for this hat. And this is going to get ugly. We're not going to be able to fix it by just adding a split ring at the end, so we might as well do it now, because the vertices will become, or the edges will become submerged. So along this crest here, we're going to have to terminate our quads along the top of this crest. Now, to make it easier to see the mesh, we're going to turn on whatever I just turned on. And what you're looking at, the reference mesh, its topology has been automatically generated, and you can see it's not great in terms of edge flow. We've kind of got like a crisscross pattern going here. Here it's straight, here it's crisscross, and also using Z remesher, which is what produced this, that's about as sparse a geometry as you can get, because I don't know, because I just know you can't get it down to like 10,000 polygons, which is what I'm hoping to achieve here for optimal game performance. I say game performance again, this is just going to be used for a transitional stinger in OBS. I plan to put maximum effort into streaming Phantom Hourglass on one of the Off-Topic Tuesdays, Shenanigan Saturdays, or Sunday Soirees, that's what I'm titling all the stuff where I don't do cybersecurity on account of I'm super sick. I'm taking it easy. And I'm doing fun stuff. This isn't fun, but it will lead to fun stuff. And you can see smoothing this out is submerging a lot of the edges, which is why you have to use the automatic tools sparingly. It's the final countdown. Da-na-na-na. Okay. I want quads. Where's quads? This we might be able to get away with just hitting split rings and creating the additional geometry we need. Just because there's a valley instead of a peak. Also, it's important to note that smoothing or using the brush to average out the vertice placement is wholly dependent upon where your border is. So that's why I'm repositioning the vertices here by hand in order to identify a good place, good edge flow for the border here. And then I'll go back in with the brush. So once you move the border and you average out these vertices, then you have to go back and average out the other vertices, at least one ring behind. I'm making up terminology here. And you can see this a bunch of drift here. I really want this to be further afield, as if you've kind of sliced the hat here with a plane. Look how crazy off that is. It looked right from one angle. Maybe I don't know what I want to do here. See, I kind of want this ring to follow as if a plane sliced it, and the plane was parallel to the ground. Now that's only so possible. It's not going to be perfect. Oh, my one remaining friend left. I get it. This isn't super intriguing. But it'd be more fun if people would converse with me. Like, what does this have to do with Ponegachis? All in good time. You shall see. Alright, so we've definitely strayed off the center line here. And we're coming to the end of the hat here. Right. So you can kind of see how borders affects how the brush tool works in terms of averaging positions of the vertices. I'll tell you what, speaking of cybersecurity, let's check in on our case print, if I can find it. I've been struggling to find a way to get internet to the shed. All the Ethernet cables I use break. I suspect they're aluminum and not copper. Bear with me. I'm connecting to the wireless router in the shed as we speak. I realized last night, even though it doesn't have internet, it can still broadcast what's attached to the Raspberry Pi. We're working on it. Webcam stream loading. All right, not much to see because of the angle. Oh, this is looking bad. I don't know what's wrong. I got a really good printout of it the other day, and now you kind of see there's like, I don't know if the bed leveling is incorrect. I'm printing the Hacker's Pager Bonagachi case mod, and it looks like I'm gonna have to go out to the shed and see how it's doing, because right now it looks pretty awful. I don't know if it's a bed leveling issue, like got out of whack all of a sudden, or what, but that is looking rough. Can you guys see what I'm saying? I wonder if I should just wait until it does the crisscross patterns. I have ironing on, but it's top layer only. So that shouldn't be the problem. Let me double check. Iron only. Okay. Only perform ironing on the very last layer of the mesh. That's what I wanted. Why is it turning out like this? I'll wait until I see the infill. Why is this not showing up on? You should be seeing live footage of my printer. No. Got too many things going on right now. This 3D coat. What if I just turn 3D coat off? Why? Why is nothing working? Okay, I don't know why that worked, but you can see the printer now. And it's not looking great, and I don't know why. But I'm going to wait until it gets to the infill pattern to see if it can be salvaged. So I guess we'll just have to be patient and get back to the retopology. I'm seeing now that my Instacart order, they canceled my Pepsi Zero. I can't imagine it was out of stock, but that's what they're saying. And they didn't message me, and so I can't replace it with Coke Zero. And that's really all I've got going on in my life right now, is in terms of happiness, is cats, cola, and cookies. And I've been deprived of cookies, now cola. So that kind of sucks. Alright. Averaging out the position of the vertices, and we're trying to get this to some sort of sensible conclusion here. I don't know how we're going to terminate all these without creating triangles. So here's the middle line. So these all have to come over. We're going to have to like twist the hat. And I don't know if this is going to work, but we got to put a split ring in here. It kind of worked. So, all right, let's look at this as if it were a box with corners. Where would the corners go? And we'll create some poles there. I don't know if this is going to work. Pretty positive it's not going to subdivide politely. So we've got like 10 up here and 3 down here. How's that going to work? So one pole is going to eliminate one polygon strip, right? So we're going to have to do like poles all the way down. It's going to be super ugly. Well, let's just get going and see what happens. I can't expend any more brain power on this. close. Now we've got too many on the top. What if we just move these together? This is ugly, ugly geometry. No, why is that not working? Let's go from the other side. This is counterintuitive, but did I say counterintuitive? I meant stupid. One, two, three, four, five, and 6 on the top. All right, let's try this. You know what? We can just terminate everything right in the middle. Wait, can we? No, we can't, because what if we do one more quad? All right, let's go back. Let's count out how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You can't divide 15 evenly. If we use a pole, we can get it down to 14 maybe. I mean, it's kind of okay to have all these terminate at a point. Because it's still gonna subdivide semi-sensibly on account of there's nowhere to go, you know, on the other end of the edge. By edge, I mean, you know, the termination point of the hat. I don't know if I'm making sense anymore. All right, we're gonna have to clean. Oh, that is not a quad. We're gonna have to clean up most of that in 3ds Max. On the upside, we did get it done with only one pole. We might not have to get it done with one pole. We can maybe delete this polygon here, which is a pole on top of a pole. Does that really help me all that much though? It actually puts 2 loop lines in here, and I don't know if I want that. Well, let's try it. Let's try it after deleting this polygon. Actually, if we want to get rid of polygons on top, or poles on top of poles, now we've got a lot more to work with, which is not necessarily a good thing. Come on, quads. I thought it would be able to finish the entire thing on stream. That is not looking to be the case. And it all worked out in the end. We actually got rid of a pole. Like I said, this is going to have to be cleaned up in Max, but all that stuff now is to make up the shoe. That looks pretty good. I can be happy with this. I mean, happy is a strong word. Look at that. Looking good. What time is it? Alright, I got stuff to do. I'll be right back. Then we'll finish it up. All right, we're back. I had to take care of an Instacart delivery. Then I had a few snacks. Then I took a look at the 3D print of the Hackers Pager Ponagachi mod case. Mod and case. And the layers had shifted. 3 different layers had shifted about an inch to the right. So I don't know what that's all about, but I only got the printer on Black Friday, so I hope it's like some sort of Cura setting. Maybe the filament's just bad, but just really hope it's nothing to do with the printer. Anyways, we're just about finished with this. What the hell? But I can tell you, I'm not happy about it. Nothing seems to work. I can't get internet to the shed. Like I said, every Ethernet cable I have fails. I imagine they're trying to pass off aluminum. I've seen videos where some of the Chinese companies try to pass off aluminum wire as copper wire. They'll go so far to actually paint the aluminum wire a copper color, and of course aluminum doesn't do very well in cold conditions. At least not in terms of like when it's, you know, a fragile strand. So I tried to get to wireless out there with a couple of different repeaters. They were all absolute garbage. The recent one I have, the only thing I've been able to get it to connect to is my phone. It won't connect to the Raspberry Pi. And like this, you can't imagine how ridiculously horrible the web UI is for it. You can see the clients connected, or you can see how many clients are connected, and you can't see what they are or what their IP address is. And for some reason now it's plugged into the other router, which has internet, but it doesn't show up in the router, the WAN router interface. Like, you have to manage it through its wireless IP address, which is weird. So what's happening here? I have too many polygon strips on the back here. Oh, God. All right, let's remove one in the back here. I'm going to slide this over. And one in the front. here where we need it most. So if we had too many in the back, and we removed one from the back and added one to the front, does that mean we're square? We shall see. Yay, math. All right, we're done in 3D coat, and I'm not going to expose you to the further tedium that is getting this to work in Max. Basically what I'm going to do is, we're not done.
Ava, good thing didn't get lost.
All right, now we're done, except for what we got to do in 3Ds Max. We're going to copy this, mirror it in the y-axis, weld together everything that's symmetrical, fill in anything that's not covered by the symmetry, get into the nooks and crannies like behind that strand of hair. Then we'll bring it back into 3D coat to UV unwrap it. Once that's done, then we take it into Substance Painter, project the normals, and paint it. And once that's done, then we're going to send it to Mixamo to rig it and animate it. And again, all this is going to accomplish is, for the short term at least, I'll find a way to reuse it. Mostly it's just going to be for a transitional stinger in OBS. Alright, thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I promise we'll get back to cybersecurity once I start feeling a little bit better. But this can be fun too. I enjoyed it. Even though, like I said, it's digital ditch digging. I hope you enjoyed it too. Alright, thank you. Bye. Oh, and again, the transitional stinger for OBS is going to be for when we play some video games, either on Off Topic Tuesdays, Saturday Shenanigans, or Sunday Soirée. So I'm going to play Phantom Hourglass because I can play that on my tablet and use the stylus and pressure sensitivity to mimic operation of the DS emulator. All right, thank you very much. Bye.